the holiday season in Muskegon, and you've come to the right place. Hi, I'm Craig Person, your host, here to help you rediscover the holiday spirit of joy, happiness, and giving. So as the year draws to a close, I'm here to give gratitude for all those wonderful experiences I've had to share with you and about you. Join me as I journey through West Michigan to find that holiday magic. My journey starts in Spring Lake, Michigan. This is Coffee with Craig.
I'm Patrick Roggenbaugh. I'm part owner of the Lily Mansion, which is a bed and breakfast and event space in Spring Lake, Michigan. I pretty much run the place. I'm the chef here. I'm a classically trained artist also. I have been elected to councilman this morning.
That's a lot of hats you're wearing.
It is work, but these are all things that I really like to do. So, and I think if you do something that you really like to do, you don't consider it work.
So where are you originally from, Patrick?
I'm originally from Germany.
Rumor has it you're a really good cook too.
I'm self-trained, but I worked with some really good people in the past, in Italy, in Spain, in Belgium, in Germany. I picked up on things that I really use in my work here at Lily Mansion.
You know, in full disclosure, Patrick and I have been friends for a short while here, and he's cooked some incredible dinners. And I remember you telling a really nice story about, I think it was an Indonesian dish, but I may have the country wrong.
Yeah.
You grew up with some of this? Your mom used to cook like this, is that right?
My mom's best friend was a lady from Indonesia. They were really good friends, and my earliest childhood memories, I remember that they were cooking together like a whole weekend, and the whole house was full of flavors and the smells of Asian food, and so that kind of became my comfort food, which is kind of unusual for a guy from Germany, you know. But yeah, I think that also created a curiosity or interest in different cultures. I really find always something that I can incorporate in my reality, whether it's my friendships or my work or my cooking or my art. It all kinds of connects, and so that's why I'm saying I live a life, a life with a lot of awareness of the things that I let into my life and how I use them.
What about this particular building represents your personality, or your experience? How is that represented in the Lily Mansion?
Well, you could say I'm very eclectic. I don't know, but I think it's a combination of my European background, of my love for the arts, of love for antiques, but also contemporary things, of my talent, I would say, to be a host. I love people. I love to organize parties, to entertain. This is a guest house also, so I have guests from all over the world coming here, and so it is something where people should feel this is welcoming, this is a warm place, and that expresses also my personality, yes.
Wow, Patrick, this is really beautiful.
Thank you.
Can you tell us about it?
It's part of a series that I did about indigenous tribes. You know, being an immigrant, it kind of made me think about who is really a native and who is a newcomer or an immigrant. That whole status is something that you think about when you come from a different country. And
Yeah.
so my first painting in that series was an Indian chief, and yeah, I kind of researched the whole story about, you know, how America was started. It has a lot of aspects to it, and but I was just interested in the significance for a country, what it means to really remember where we come from, and so it kind of expanded to researching indigenous tribes all over the world. And so another one was a girl from the Amazon in South America, which actually got chosen for the Muskegon Museum of Art last year's group exhibition. And then she is a representative of the Aboriginals in Australia.
Really?
So yeah, and you see the pieces of fabric are actually Aboriginal designs. They have a lot of symbolism. And this construction with the wood is like they're nomads, so they build their houses or wherever they stay the night just with branches and make it a hut and then move on. So for me, art is certainly something decorative, and I've done it in my past. I've done a lot of commissions also, but I think I have the freedom now to express a little bit more. You know, it doesn't always have to be just decorative. I think art is a way to express a lot of things, and I'm trying to do that.
Welcome back to Coffee with Craig. Wasn't that a wonderful story that takes place in Spring Lake at Lily Mansion? Our next story is about an entrepreneur who's elevated his food to the next level. It all takes place in Grand Rapids, and we go visit him on our next segment.
So I'm John Przybylek. I am from the Muskegon area. We are in Grand Rapids. We're about a mile from downtown. The address is at 678 Front Avenue. I'm an executive catering private chef, do all sorts of different kind of events. But here today, we're sort of talking about the cafe that I have opening up here in Grand Rapids.
What's the name of the cafe?
Five Knives Cafe.
Five Knives.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. What does it take
Yeah.
to open up a cafe, and what kind of building are we in?
Yeah, so we're in the RVC office building, otherwise known as the Riverview Center. It's looks over the Grand River here, so we got a good location. But the cafe will be located inside, so we're surrounded by business offices, office space that's available. We're just gonna keep it real nice and basic, paninis and sandwiches. It's a fresh grilled chicken, regular fresh ingredients, your lettuce, tomato, bacon, a nice sauce on it.
Yeah.
That can be prepared within 3 to 7 minutes. So you can shoot down here. We're gonna do online ordering, text ordering, kiosk, self-serve, all that kind of stuff. We will also be holding like a grab-and-go options. So doing fresh-made sushi, salads, wraps. Breakfast will be comprised of hot sandwiches. So you can come in and get your freshly made breakfast sandwiches, grab it, and come sit out here in the atrium and eat, or take it back to your office. Just really trying to capture fresh-made food that you can get, just as fast as you could going through a drive-through.
You're really impressing me with the menu options you're talking about.
Yeah.
First off, I love a really good panini.
Right.
And I discovered that in London when I was there for work, and I had a few extra days off and found myself walking into a place and having my first panini. So I love paninis, they're phenomenal. Do you do any twists on any of these dishes?
Sorta. So one panini that we have is a roasted strawberry and brie panini, which will be roasted strawberries, chocolate, Nutella, and creamy brie sauce that goes on with the pumpernickel bread. And it's funny you said, I was in Europe recently, and I noticed at the airports and everything, they have these just really good sandwiches. They're just nice bread, your salami, cucumber, tomato, and like good cream cheese sauce. So I'm going to incorporate that into availability as the grab and go as well. It's just like some really good, nice and easy sandwiches along those lines.
Sounds good. I do hear some construction going on, so
Yeah.
are they, you're not open yet?
Nope, not yet. We are shooting for January-ish. We've been working along these lines for about a year. We do have time on our side, because where a lot of places don't necessarily have that time.
Yeah.
Partner here that owns the building is an amazing guy, and he's giving us the time to make sure everything is correct. Our designer's amazing. She's very meticulous, and I know it's going to look amazing. So we're really putting all the pieces together correctly. So when we open, it goes flawless. We don't have to go back and spend more money and retry everything.
So that's what you're doing here. We're in Grand Rapids right now.
Yep.
In Muskegon, you do catering and you're also a private chef.
Yep. Yeah.
Tell me about that, because I know that I got to taste some of your pho, which is, for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area. So we have a big Vietnamese community in San Jose, California, where I'm from, and they have lots of restaurants, and they serve something called pho, and I believe that's what you made, right?
Yeah, I would make the bone broth that's from it, roasted bone broth. That's usually the big part of the pho, is you roast that off for 9 to 12 hours throughout the day with specific ingredients and break that down, and then you put fresh quality ingredients on top, and it's
Yeah.
you have your rice noodles and all that good stuff. But yeah, I do private dining, all customized menus. I do have catalogs that you can view previous items that I've done before for dinners and all that stuff. So I do upscale private dining down to regular casual banquet dining, buffets, plated meals, graduations, you name it, and we can really make it work.
Yeah.
And really sit down and customize menus with you and see what's worked, what's in your budget, what's out of your budget, and just really make an event that's exactly how you want it to be.
Right, right. You seem to have a lot of range in the
Yeah.
things that you like to cook. And that's fascinating to me, and it seems like you're focused on flavor
Oh, yeah.
a little bit. And I noticed that when I went to Berlin Sprig and tasted one of your dishes. It was phenomenal.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, I can't do it again. Can't do it right now, right?
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
But do you periodically show up at some of these local venues in Muskegon?
Yeah, so actually recently talked with Matt Gagowski at Rad Dad's, and we've been trying to find a spot to fit in to do possibly sushi burritos or something along those lines where I can jump in there on a couple weekends or whatever the issue is so that people from Muskegon can come down and taste some of my food without, spending the money to have a private event all for them. I really want to bring food to the area that I'm from and show some of my friends and family and everyone like that, yeah, come down, try some of this out and
Yeah?
see how you like it.
Who's your chef inspiration?
So I sort of got two, and one is Grant Arquette's. He owns a Linea in Chicago. It's a 3 Michelin star place. He's a molecular gastronomy expert. It's a form of cooking where you change the molecular foundation of food, turn fats into powders, liquids into solids.
Interesting.
And I think some of the people that are watching this might have seen some of the things I've done with cocktail spheres, where I can create your favorite cocktail and put it in a sphere, a very light membrane around it that you sort of shoot back and explodes with the liquid inside.
Wow.
And that's just a small part. I mean, Grant makes floating balloons that you can eat yourself, stuff like that. But another chef that I really enjoy is Anthony Bourdain. I think a lot of people have heard of him.
Yeah.
Just his grunginess and look into the kitchen life and how he shows all the aspects of the kitchen. And that's a part I like, is being in the high rush of kitchens and meeting friends and people that are just on the same wavelength as me.
Yeah.
They have passion for food, and that being a chef is a different style of lifestyle. We work holidays, we work the events, we don't have weekends off. Some days I'll work 80, 90 hours a week in preparation for one event.
I was going to say, as I'm talking to you, I'm realizing how undervalued sometimes.
Right.
The food comes, they don't understand, you know, all of the
Correct.
training and experience and influence and experiments it takes to get to that point where that food reaches your table.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, there's a lot of science going on here, a lot of experimentation, am I right?
Yeah, that's what really drives me to enjoy the food is the science behind it, changing flavors and techniques, and really, you know, expressing almost as an artist to put food on a plate.
Welcome back to Coffee with Craig. This is In the News. In the news, Adelaide Point is scheduled groundbreaking for March of 2023. They also own a power company that uses solar as renewable power, and an article has been written in the Grand Rapids Journal talking about all this amazing stuff going on right here in Muskegon. I also have a really big announcement. You see, Coffee with Craig is changing its format and branding. This is no longer Coffee with Craig. Starting 2023, this is the Coffee with Craig show, featuring me. We're also starting a new company called Coffee with Craig Productions. So if you're interested in taking one of our 30-day challenges and rebranding your business with these short format videos, you can see them all over my Facebook pages. Please take a moment and give me a call. My phone number is 408-657-6285. I'm also partnering with NC1 to create a brand new media group you will very much be interested in, because we're going to create content that covers the entire state of Michigan. So stay tuned for more information about that. You know, the holidays can sometimes be depressing for people. You know, it's gray out, cold. A lot of times people lose touch with their family. So the Chamber of Commerce held a breakfast meeting discussing mental health in the workplace. So important for all of us to remember that adequate lighting, talking to people, making sure that your employees are well heard and understood are so important. Let's find out what the Chamber of Commerce is doing to help with this subject. Well, we're back at the Chamber of Commerce business breakfast, and I'm here with
Kenny Jackson, Operations Director of Love and Grace Healing Ministries.
What are some of the community-facing programs you have in place?
Well, what we do is we're a listening, healing ministry, and we help people get through mental health issues, crises such as trauma and childhood trauma. We call it ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences. And we do our best to help people. We combine science with spirituality. So everything's faith-based. But what we do in our faith-based programs is we help people see that there's hope. We have 4 pillars: identity, purpose, truth, and hope, and we help them rebuild that and restore them so they can be contributors to society.
Sometimes people isolate and feel alone in this period of time. What's something that they can do to brighten their holiday spirits up a little bit?
Well, one thing that I encourage people with depression to do is to get active. That's one big thing that we help people do, because in our purpose piece, we find out that this time of year everybody mopes around and sits around.
Yeah.
But it's good to find a hobby or something that you enjoy doing, something that gets you back to your joy center.
Yeah.
And so it's good to get away from depression. It's good to lighten your house. Sometimes we don't like to do it, but clean the house.
Right.
Do different things to get active. That'll keep us from moping around and waddling in our misery.
But so mental health in the workplace for me as human resources and as an employer just simply means it removes the fear of being judged, being isolated, and feeling like HR has an intolerance for having mental health concerns, right? I never use the term problem or anything like that, but a mental health concern.
Welcome back to Coffee with Craig. You know, this is it, folks. We've got one more show left, and we'll be done for the year. You know, the old Coffee with Craig is coming to a close. The Coffee with Craig show is what's coming next in 2023. I hope that you and your family have the happiest of holidays. It's a wonderful time to celebrate, and I'll see you on the next video.